Let's see. Joining me now, former DNC chair and Pennsylvania Governor Ed Rendell. He's also an NBC News political analyst. And Bob Herbert. He's currently a distinguished fellow, senior fellow at the Demos think tank. Bob, let me start with you.
Okay.
How would you rate the White House strategy so far? Do you think it's wrong or right?
Well, politically, the strategy is very good, and I agree with you. The president is winning this battle. But I think it's a wholly manufactured crisis. There should be no controversy around raising the debt limit. The Republicans should have agreed to raise the debt limit, as they did several times during the Bush administration. You know, just raise the debt limit and move on. The real crisis in this country right now is an employment crisis, which is why the economy is in the tank.
Right.
What the two parties should be negotiating is a way to get Americans back to work and then leave the debt issue, the long-term budget deficits and debt issues into the medium term. Deal with the jobs crisis first, and then deal with the debt issues, which are serious, but deal with them subsequently.
Well, I want to get back to that because I had a congressman on tonight telling me that as long as we protect the top 1%, that jobs will come from heaven somewhere, I guess.
Well, I think that we should be clear that most of the people in power are happy about the top 1% doing well, so they don't feel like we need any radical changes in this economy.
Governor Rendell, the politics of this, you just heard these brand new polls. Nobody has given them because they just came out moments ago. Politically, you've won elections. You know what polling means. What does this say to you from a political standpoint?
Well, first of all, let me just say that you just heard from Bob Herbert, one of the most cogent prescriptions for what we need to do as a country. And he's right. We need to deal with investment and job creation right now. We should raise the debt limit in a two-sentence bill. And later on, yes, we need to do something about the deficit. And I believe, and you've heard me say this, Al, that means restructuring entitlement programs. It means a cut in spending, but it also means increases in revenue. And it's absolutely imperative that we go down that track. But your question, what does the polling mean? The polling means the president is winning on two fronts. One, the sort of the psychological battle. He's the adult in the room. The Republicans look like petulant children who say, you've got to do it our way or we're going home.
Right.
The president has seemed flexible. He wants to get this done. He's clearly the one who's thinking about what's right for the nation in the long run. He's winning, secondly, on the substantive ground. The American people, and Bob's right, they're focused on job creation. But when they do think about this issue, they can't understand why 38% of corporations in this country pay no federal taxes because of loopholes. They don't understand why we give the oil companies $40 billion in tax breaks at a time when they're making record profits, all-time profits. So yes, he's winning on substance and he's winning on
all right, but let me go back to you, Bob, because you and I agree we should be talking about jobs. So Bill Clinton, former president, said if he was president right now, his advice to the president, if he was there, he would just go around the Congress, go around all of this, really, and he would invoke the 14th Amendment and let the court stop him. His quote was, I would raise it without hesitation and force the courts to stop me. Do you think that President Obama should do that, or do you think he's playing it wiser the way he's engaging this and exposing the other side for their political
positions? You never know what the ramifications are going to be if the president does do that. But the thing that I'm very concerned about, and the thing that would make me lean towards former President Clinton's position, is that what both sides are proposing will hurt the economy and will damage the employment situation even more, because each side is talking about austerity. The Republicans are talking about a more extreme form of austerity, but the president is talking about austerity as well. And to do that when the economy is in the tank the way it is now is really self-defeating.
Now, one of the things, Governor Rendell, we're seeing here is a face-off, because the poll also tells us that 62% of Democrats want compromise, but 52% of Republicans want their party to stick to its positions. So are the Republicans playing to their base, even though it may cost the country, even though it may put us in a default? Are they saying, my people, my voters, my constituents want me to hold the line, and that's what I'm going to do?
Oh, there's no question about that. And one of Bob's former colleagues, David Brooks, said it best about 10 days ago in the New York Times. He said the people in the House of Representatives, those Republicans, a lot of them, they don't care about what's good for the country at all. They just want to win an ideological battle. And in fact, they don't care what's good for their own party, because the path they're taking us down is a path that the poll shows the nation overwhelmingly rejects. And it's going to be bad for their party electorally as well. But most importantly, it's bad for the country. The consequences of default are enormous. And they're enormous not just for bondholders, but they're enormous because it would throw the country into a second and maybe even more severe recession. We cannot risk that under no circumstances.
I got to go. Governor Rendell, thank you. And Governor, I want you to know, since I was a kid and Bob Herbert was a kid, this is the first time since his Daily News New York Times days I got to ask him the question. Thank you, Bob.